Hi everybody, it's Christina from Card Making Magic. Today I'm working with several sets of dies from across the Card Making Magic range. This is available with CraftStash and I'm going to be using the original 5x7 card and box die set, the Quatrefoil trellis, the nesting ovals, we're going to use a frame and one of the verses from the Verses set. So my colour scheme for today's card is going to be turquoise and white. So let's start with the die cutting. We're going to create a box for this card because I'm going to decorate it with some flowers and they will add a lot of depth. So for the box I need to cut two pieces in white card. Then with the card making element I'm going to take another piece of card and fold it in half, and then I'm going to keep the non-cutting edge over the open ends, and when I've cut that, that will give me two pieces of card that I can then score one of them back and add them together to give me a top folded card. Then from the stitched mat, which is the next die down, I have cut another piece that will sit on the front. Now I also want some designer paper on there, so I've taken a piece of paper and I'm going to make sure that my mat sits just inside the stitch line by adding little marks on the sheet. And now when I cut that, that will fit on this panel. Now to the top of this I want to add some trellis work. So this die is in two parts. Cut this piece first and then add this piece to the cut panel, and that will give you this beautiful trellis work that will sit on top of the designer paper. Now from the oval set I'm not using the largest die, I'm taking the next die down and I have cut myself a panel, and then I've taken the scalloped one and onto a piece of white card I've stamped this verse, and I've stamped and embossed it in clear powder, and then I've cut that out and that will layer onto this piece. Now from the stand die you're going to cut two pieces of each, so you want two bases and two of the filigree pieces on the top. Now you're going to glue these two together and make sure that they're all lined up nice and neatly. Now once you have these glued together you're going to cut this in half. Now the reason you're making two stands is because you want them to face opposite directions, and if you just use one and you turn one round, these both swirls are facing the same way. But if you take one from the other section, the other one, you have them facing opposite each other. So we're going to use two on the front and one on the inside of the card. Now the last little piece of die cutting that we're going to do is take the inner section of the trellis and one of the box pieces, and in the one that's going to be the front of your card you're going to lay this panel. So once you've done that you have this panel in your box, and from this one, this scalloped one, we're going to cut another little oval. So to the inside of the box we're going to add a piece of acetate. So we've just added some red line tape around the edges, and we'll place the acetate into the centre. Finished card and box, and we've used the card stand in a completely different way. We've added it to the front of the box and the card, and we've used it inside as a little pocket for a label that you can add your own signature or your verse to. So all these dies and stamps are part of the Card Making Magic collection that's available with CraftStash. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, please join me on the next one, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.